welcome back to the channel. So today I am building in my Oasis Springs series, Let's Build Oasis Springs, and I'm building a apartment complex for you guys. So if you haven't seen the series yet, I will link the playlist here up in the screen so you oh my gosh, so that you can check out part 1 till 6. I think we are on the 5th lot of the series. I do need to think. Let me see. We had 4 in the other neighborhood. Then I built a pie and grind cafe, and then I built a bowling alley. So yeah, this is number 7. Yes, it is. This is number 7 of the series, and I'm building a apartment complex for you guys. So this apartment complex is going to be custom content free. I know I did a other apartment complex, I think it's like almost a year ago, and that was a custom content apartment, which was gorgeous. I absolutely enjoyed building that one, and I actually did promise to build another apartment, but then I forgot about it. So yay, here another apartment for you guys, and I will be linking the custom content version that I did last year here up in the screen as well, so that you can check that out when you have the time. And of course, if you love custom content, then that build will be awesome for you. So for this apartment, I am going with a modern kind of exterior, but not over the top chic or posh. I really went with a simple kind of execution of an apartment, and the reason why I'm doing that is because we are starting out in a new neighborhood, and every neighborhood has its own kind of vibe. So for this neighborhood, I'm going for a in-between. So this is not a very rich neighborhood, not a very poor neighborhood. It's just a normal one. So you will be seeing normal suburban homes here, a normal kind of apartment complex, although this apartment complex it's a little bit on the luxurious side because of the eye catcher that I made at the very center of the apartment. I just needed something there. It looked a bit empty when I designed it, and I just knew I needed something in the middle. So I went through my Google Images, because usually when I don't know how to finish a build, I go to Google and I look for something interesting on the build. So I was searching modern apartments and I was looking for something really eye-catchy, and then I found this apartment with this beautiful kind of lacy kind of texture in the middle, and I wanted to do that as well. So that is what I'm doing now, and I'm using the perfect patio wall decorations for that, and I think it looks really nice. So when you look at the apartment, you are like, oh my gosh, that's really fancy, but it isn't that fancy. So when you look at the inside, it's like really normal. The sides are normal, the back is normal, but the front is a bit on the fancier side, if you know what I mean. But the other houses in this neighborhood will be more on the suburban-y kind of side. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So when you look at this building, this apartment building, you will notice that the left and the right are very similar, at like that on similar. I went for a real apartment vibe. So when I look at the apartments that are built here, and I'm not meaning here where I live in a very rural, is it called a rural area? Anyways, there are like freaking cows and horses here where I live. You don't really have apartments here, but I'm talking about the city here. So we do have a city where I live here in Belgium, near the part where I live. It's a really small kind of city, and you do have a few apartment complexes there, and those are very similar looking in design. The left and the right side are all the same, so I went with that kind of setup. So it's a really very simple setup, but still nice looking. So I like the idea of all the windows that we have here, all the little balconies, although only the front and the back balcony are usable. The side balconies are only decorational, and at one point I even was thinking about just removing those balconies on the side, but I did that, by the way, and it looked kinda empty. So I do go with really tiny balconies, but you cannot use them. There are only 1 tile wide. I mean, I think our sim can probably stand on them, so you can maybe add in an easel there or something if you like, but I haven't made doors through those sections. So there are only doors leading up to the front and the back balcony. So as you guys can see, it's taking shape here, making the balconies here on the side, and trying to make it look interesting. So for the color palette that I'm using, that is gonna change at the very end of the video. Here I'm going for a red and a gray kind of color, but in the end I changed the red to a blue color. And then the sidings that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna start off with Get Together wooden sidings, but I'm gonna change that for the bowling alley brick wall, because that is really nice. I love that brick wall and it fits in perfectly with the theme that I'm going for. And also for the landscaping, I really keep it in the kind of Oasis Springs landscaping, although there isn't much landscaping, to be honest. I really try to use the entire lot, because this is built on a 30 by 40 or a 30 by 20, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's not that of a large lot. I think this is a 30 by 20, to be honest, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it's not that large, and we need to fit in 6 apartments, maybe 5. I'm not sure. I'm still debating if I want the very top floor to be 1 apartment, so like a kind of penthouse apartment for a more richer sim, or maybe we can have like the landlord live there, the person who owns the apartment complex, and then the other apartment floors will all have 2 apartments on every floor. So yeah, so 1 floor has 2 apartments, so in total there will be 5. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. I'm still gonna debate about it. I did start with furnishing one of the apartments on the 2nd floor, and no, that footage is not in this video. This video is only creating the outer shell and furnishing the 1st floor, which are going to be garages for the cars and mailboxes and stuff like that. So all of the other apartments, so the 3 floors that we still need to furnish, those will be done in separate episodes. And I don't know if 1 episode will be like 2 or 3 apartments. It all depends on how fast I furnish 1 apartment. And the one that I did furnish was the 2nd floor apartment on the left side, and I think that one took me like 40 minutes to furnish, so like 40 minutes each apartment. So probably I'm gonna do 2 apartments per videos. I'm gonna say probably. It can be more, it can be less, it all depends on how much time I have. And I do need to calculate my time because I'm working double shifts, and yeah, I have explained this in previous videos, but I'm gonna repeat myself for the people who haven't seen those videos. I am working double shifts at the moment because I've just gotten not a raise. I did get a raise, but a promotion. I'm promoted to store manager, and I do need to make more hours. And now that a colleague of mine has gone into the hospital to get a surgery done, a major surgery, by the way, she will be out for 2 months. I need to fill in her place, so I'm doing double shifts, and I'm also helping out my oldest daughter with her homework every day, so I don't have much time. So I do calculate all the time that I have for every episode that I can do. So yeah, so maybe if I had more time, I would probably fit in 6 apartments in one go, but I cannot do that now. So as you guys can see, it's taking shape. I did do the garage doors at the side. At this point, I will change that up to garage doors at the front. So the reason why I will be doing that is I mean, if this lot was larger, like on a 30 by 40, I would have had enough space at the sides to make like driveways leading up to the garages. But because this lot is kind of small, I couldn't make that. And I hated the idea of my Sims who don't actually have functional cars, by the way. But I hated the idea of my Sims driving through the grass without a decent driveway that I made the garage ports at the front. So it looks really nice at the front. It really does. The only problem with placing that at the front is when I started making parking spaces inside those two sections, as you guys can see, I only had place for two. I couldn't fit in three. I mean, I could have done three, but then when you park your car way back in the garage and then someone puts a car in front of that little place, you cannot go anywhere. You're stuck there. And I know we don't have functional cars in the sim, so I could have done that. But I just kept thinking about me. And if I would have been stuck in my garage and I needed to go to work, I would have been so annoyed. Like really annoyed. I would probably be pounding on doors in that complex and finding the owner of that car, and if he would please get the, yeah, you know what I mean, get the fridge out of my way because I need to work. So yeah, I know it's not functional at all, but in my mind I was like, no, let's go for 4 parking spaces, and maybe if you want a parking space you need to pay extra for your apartment or something like that. I know some apartment complexes do that, by the way. You do have a few in the very large cities. I know in Antwerp and Brussels you have very large apartment complexes, and not every apartment has its own parking spot, and you need to pay monthly for your parking spot. So that is the whole idea about the garages on the first floor. So for a elevator, by the way, I did look into placing an elevator, and yes, I can place an elevator in this lot. So how do you place an elevator, you might think? So if you have if you have sitting living, you can save an elevator to your library, and then you can place that on a lot outside San Myshuno. If you don't do that, you cannot place a elevator. So I was thinking at first, let's make multiple elevators. I mean, just decorational elevators. So I tried that out and I couldn't make it work. So I could place one, and the second and the third one that I placed were going just fine. But then when I started exiting the build mode and going into live mode, I got a message, so an error message that said you have too many elevators on the lot, you cannot go into live mode. So I could like go around that and just exit without using live mode and go into my manage worlds first and then going into live mode. But that is just such a hassle, and I was really thinking about the people who would download this from the gallery and don't know how that works, and then I need to explain that like a million times, and I just didn't want to do that. So yes, I could have placed elevators, but I'm not gonna. So there are only staircases. This is really an old school apartment complex, and you can only access all the floors with stairs. Although my oldest sister also lives in this kind of apartment complex. She lives in Rotterdam, and her apartment complex has 4 floors, and they also don't have any elevators. They just have staircases, which are an absolute nightmare. Have you ever tried going up 4 floors in heels? And yes, my older sister, she has the very top floor. And every time that I visit her, of course I'm wearing heels because I love wearing my high heels. That's like the only thing I wear if I'm not working. So when I visit them and I have my heels on, I'm dying getting up those stairs. I'm literally dying. But it's a really great cardio. It's a great cardio. It's very good for your backside muscles, you know, for that booty. But yeah, this is also a very old school kind of apartment with only stairs. You can look at it like that. Anyways, here I am playing around with the colors. I did change that wooden paneling on the side to the brick one from bowling alley stuff. And now what am I doing? Oh, the lighting, of course, very important as well. Oh yeah, here. So what oh my god, what am I doing here? So I just made little rooms inside of the garage so that I could color the foundation. So usually when you color foundation, you can color like really large parts of the foundation, and you cannot color the foundation into like one tile. So you are like, I only want this tile to be this color foundation. You cannot do that. You can either color the whole foundation or not. So what I did is I made a room, and then you can color only that room which is attached to the outer wall. If you guys understand what I was doing. Anyway, that is what I was doing. So that's why I have this gray kind of strip underneath my garage door, and it makes it look like the garage door really goes down to the floor, which it actually doesn't. It stops on the foundation. So here making another roof section. Why am I making another roof section? Because it looked really empty and boring. I needed a little bit more detailing there, so I thought let's add in an extra layer and make it look a bit nicer. And here I am changing the red color to blue, and I mean, look at that. It looks so much better. I mean, the red was also nice, but the blue makes it look fresher, and I don't know, I'm happy with it. I like the blue. I'm gonna use that blue probably a bit more in other builds. I really like that very much. So what am I doing here? Here I'm just trying to decorate the garage. So I am gonna scale up some cars, you guys. Yes, going with the hated toy cars, because those are the only cars that we have. And yes, I am using different kind of cars than the same car that I use over and over. And it looked really nice. It looked really realistic. I went for a very realistic vibe here in the garage. I didn't want to add in too much kind of clutter items, because this is an area that everyone will use. So you don't want personal items here, because probably if you would like place a bike there, or I don't know, just random stuff of you, then it will probably get stolen there. I mean, that is what I was thinking. I mean, where my sister lives in her apartment complex, you cannot place a bicycle or maybe a stroller in the garage area, because people are gonna take that and they are gonna steal it. So that is what I was thinking of. I was like, don't place too much items here, just a necessity. So we have an electricity box, we have a fire a fire extinguisher, and then I'm also gonna place some I don't know, so those thingies in the wall, I don't know how those are called, buizen in Dutch. That's a Dutch word, buizen. I don't know the English word, but anyways, I thought let's place that. So what I'm also gonna place here is I'm gonna place that apartment board that you will see in Send My Shuno, and I'm also gonna place these things here. So those are mailboxes, also from the apartments from Send My Shuno. I don't know if those are functional, but I did also place a mailbox outside that you can use just in case. So yeah, we are almost finished and at the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little voiceover. Don't forget to place your likes if you liked the apartment complex. Very important for me, very important for the channel. It makes it grow, it makes people notice the video, so it means a lot to me if you would please thumb up the video if you like. And if this is the first, not the fist, oh my gosh, Mona, if this is the first video that you are seeing from me and you like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. And yeah, I hope that you guys have an awesome day wherever you are, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.